for giving us time to speak to us over very important issues relating to the bank operation as well as Zambia's economy and the outlook. So to get right into it, adapting to climate change is this year's theme, which looks to galvanize solutions to address climate change. How then is your bank driving alternative energy investment for Africa?
Good morning and thank you. Glad to be here and very bustling outside. So here at Stanbic Bank, if we're just to go straight into the energy situation, we all know and we're all feeling the energy crisis that has befallen Zambia. A big part of it to do with climate change, given our heavy reliance on nature through hydrology, through the hydro-generated power. Last year's call to action came about with a drought that was announced as an emergency by our president in April last year. And the call for action which Stanbic grasped was the fact that we need to address the energy crisis in a number of ways: emergency, medium term and long term. So as Stanbic, we jumped to all three. We needed to address the immediate situation that had befallen us. As you recall, almost 6 million, around 6 million people were at threat of starvation because of the impact that it had on our food security, the drought. In addition, the economy was also being impacted by the lack of power. Lack of power, not just at the large industrial and mining level, but also household, small medium enterprises. We took on an opportunity to participate in an emergency import facility, and that was to assist ZESCO, our national utility company, to bring in emergency power. And that emergency power, we partnered with Greenco, which is a credit enhancement company as well as a trader, which helped the bank structure a solution that allowed us to meet the needs of the country, but also to ensure that we had a structure that would be financially viable. So that was the first thing we did, and we closed that around November last year. And then we also participated as the full underwriter for the second tranche of the CEC Green Bond issuance that happened last year. Again, that was closed. The financing was closed last year, and we should be hearing about the commissioning of that additional solar power that has come in. And of course, this year we closed, after 8 months, we closed the Kariba North Bank extension solar PV, 100 megawatts, additional power coming off the system. And I think one thing that we need to underline is that this is additional power, and it allowed us to be able to bring in additional power, which we had a strong offtake from the mines, which is First Quantum Minerals, to be more specific. They guaranteed the offtake, and with that we were able to finance the structure around that. Again, working with Greenco, Kariba North Bank Extension and the ZESCO teams. What was also very critical about all the three facilities which we've done, which are the balance sheet facilities, we've also provided some off-balance sheet facilities for importation of power. But what is critical about it is about diversifying the energy mix in Zambia. We cannot continue to rely on one source of power. Even if the rains were to improve over the next few years, we still cannot continue the situation. We have heavy reliance and literally bringing our country to a standstill when there's a disruption to that. And we know the disruptions are going to come. The climate change is permanent. Climate change is here, and it's not going away. So it's about adapting to the changes that we know and ensuring that we have this resilient economy, stretching all the way from the mines, all the way to the small and medium enterprises. If you think about your barber who's charging 50 kwacha to cut your hair, and he has to run a genset on fuel which is unpredictable in price, that is devastating for somebody's livelihood. And we've seen so many small companies close. And yes, as much as people may not see that the impact is not 100% in terms of alleviating. We still have load management happening, but there has been an improvement in that we are bringing on additional power supply with all these power deals that we are embarking on.
Thank you.